Hello Aries, how are you today? This is Yetta Pearl. Please welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming. So this is your angel reading for the second half of June 2021. So June 16th to 30th. This is a general reading, and so take what resonates for you, leave the rest. That'll just be for somebody else. No worries. So I hope that you've been enjoying the videos I've been doing. It's a pretty new channel yet, only a few subscribers. So the more likes, the more comments, the more subscribes I get, the better. So I appreciate you very much for supporting me. Okay, so let's get started here. It's, as you can see out my window, it's a bit of a rainy day today. We've had quite a bit of rain here. There we go. And then the goddess cards here. We'll see what messages they have for you for today, Aries, for the second half of June 2021. Okay. Well, angels. So this is an angel reading, not tarot. So with an angel reading, this is your guardian angels, and they talk with mine, and they give me your messages to give to you. You know, we're probably all familiar with the fact that it's really hard to do a reading for your own self, you know. Sometimes it's even difficult to receive your own messages, you know, in daily life, right? Just because you're so accustomed to what you feel like and what your vibration is and things like that. So it's handy to have somebody to, you know, receive the messages and pass them on. And I find that myself. I listen to other readers on my own behalf, and it just really makes everything much more clear, doesn't it? Okay, so let's jump right in. So, okay, so it looks very much like the general theme of your reading, which sometimes there's a theme, sometimes there is not. But it looks like you definitely have a theme here. And your theme here is to look after yourself. You've been, it's like you've been almost overrun. You've been experiencing anxiety. You've been feeling kind of overwhelmed, like there's too much going on. And it's time, you know, you've been doing very well getting through all that, but it's time to kind of step back and say, okay, I need some space. I need to regroup. I need to get my thoughts, my feelings, my, you know, everything kind of calm down and in order. And then I can continue. So one of the first things that your angels are saying to you that they want you to do for yourself is to spend time with water. I'm sure we've all heard that, you know, there's varying reports, but a human body is made up of anywhere from 60 to 80% water. And so for some of you, this means that you've been dehydrated. And so drink more water. Add a little bit of sea salt to your water so your cells can really take it up. And keep doing that. Like, try not to forget. You've been so busy lately that some days you've been forgetting to drink the water, and you need to get back on that. The other part of this is that water, flowing water, has, now let's see if this is an old memory, they're pulling it up for me. Flowing water creates negative ions, which purifies and clears the air and the water within us, right? And so that's why we feel good when we're beside a waterfall and things like that, because it has those negative ions which clear everything. And so to spend time with flowing water is a really great thing. So now they're talking about lake, river, or ocean. So if you have access to those things, that is great. But use your shower too, you know, or have an Epsom salt bath, things like that. A lot of times the water messages, you know, they're to do with your emotions. and with allowing things to be purified and cleansed with the flowing water. Sometimes this is a physical thing. This is, especially if it's ocean that you're craving, then you should probably go find some kelp supplements and take those, because often that means you're low on iodine. And so give that a try as well. Yeah, beautiful. It's also time to have, your alone time, me time, whatever you call it. Step back. It doesn't need to be an extended period, but it does need to be a time where you've deliberately carved out that time just for you to be away from responsibilities, to be in a place where you can be alone or with somebody who's, really vibrating at the same level as you. Somebody who understands if you say, I need silence, and they will accommodate that. Usually alone is best, though. And so that gives you the opportunity, we call it recharging, but what it is to step back from everybody else's static and ask your angels to clear your energy field. So Archangel Metatron uses color and geometric shapes to clear our energy field. And so asking him to do that will take away all the stuff that you have accidentally taken on, which does not belong to you. Especially somebody who is an empath, we tend to take on other people's stuff and we don't even realize that it's not our own, right? So asking for that to be cleared from your whole energy field. And now you can use your hands, and just scrape through your energy field or comb it through, whatever feels best for you, right? But it's the angels doing the work, so you can absolutely trust that, right? And so clearing other people's stuff. They're also pointing out to me the value of cord cutting. For some of you, there's people in your life who you think about them an inordinate amount, and you need to just cut cords with them. That only cuts the negativity, right? So it only cuts the negativity and it keeps the positive flowing between you. But it makes it so that you no longer need to obsess over what that person did or said or whatever, right? So having some time alone and contemplating these things and cutting and clearing that away from you is going to be so valuable for you right now. So if possible, do some of that soul searching outdoors, in the trees, in nature, so that you can sit on the ground and, take your socks and shoes off and, excuse me, and really, really connect with the earth and with nature and take deep breaths and just appreciate everything that's around you, And, in the same way, getting in a body of water, a natural body of water, it really, really connects you to the earth. Water is not always grounding. If you're floating in it, it's kind of hard to be grounded, right? But the flowing water while you're standing is very grounding. So yes, using your breath and clearing out the negative spots that you end up with, within you, in response to the world around you. Just trying to get that all flowing instead of stagnant, right? That just feels so good. And then that way your shoulders can relax and come down away from your ears, and you can be more relaxed. You can identify more easily what is yours and what is not. So keeping that separate, and being able to identify that it is actually separate. It's not yours to take on, right? So on the same theme now, honoring the cycles of your body, your energy levels, and your emotions. Very, very valuable. So in your time that you're taking away, and it might only be an hour, But acknowledging what you've been feeling, acknowledging how you're feeling, acknowledging, your body and what your body needs, and realizing that it does go in cycles, right? So just because you feel like this right now, definitely you will not feel like this forever. Think back to a very recent time when you felt really good, and see, how you can acknowledge that, because the lack of permanence is often, what gets us through, right? So it's a flow, and it's an acknowledgement that things do cycle. They're up and they're down, and all is good, because this is not permanent. Let me see if I can feel into this and see. So obviously this message is not for every single person who's listening right now, and certainly not for every Aries who is listening, and who exists in the world. So let's see. It just feels like a bit of a lower time, by the end of June, this will be lifting, is what I'm being shown. And so for some of you, it's only a small dip. Others, it's a bit bigger, a bit deeper, things like that. But by the end of June, this will be lifting, and things will be looking really good again. So that's awesome. You are independent. It's a natural portion of your being. You are independent. Now, I'm being shown that certainly, many of you are in relationships, and you do depend in a certain amount on your partner and the people around you, your coworkers, your family, that kind of thing. But in general, you prefer to be quite independent. You have your own foundations, right? And your foundation is not dependent upon anybody else. So you have all the strength and the knowledge. They're saying the knowledge. You have everything that you need to get yourself further and to the next step. And so there is something, it feels very much like there's something coming full cycle, back to this cycle again here. There's something coming full cycle, and it's finishing. And it's a natural finish. It should finish. There's no reason to try to prolong that. You will find that the people, most of the other people affected by this ending of this cycle, are in full agreement that it should end. Some of them are unable to fully acknowledge that yet, but it's okay. They do know, they do understand. And so you, with your strong foundation, you are going to be able to come through this really, really well. It's probably, now they're not totally showing me, but that's probably the ending of this cycle is probably what's making you feel a little down. You're sad to see the ending of that, but they're reminding you that to think back to the last time you had a new beginning, and not necessarily on the same topic or whatever, but think back to when you had the last new beginning and how fun it was and how exciting it was. And it's like an adventure and starting something new. And so that is kind of the corner piece here of this reading, is the new beginnings. Look at that beautiful card, that picture. It's like cresting the top of a rise and seeing the vista in front of you. And it just takes your breath away. It's amazing. And so these new beginnings are really, really great. And you're so going to enjoy it. The minute you are able to get past this ending and get out of this little wee dip, then that new beginning is right there for you. It's ready and it's waiting. Okay, that's fabulous. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. The daily guidance, angels. Heart chakra. So love is the heart of the matter. Okay. So that really sheds a lot of light on what specifically this is about, right? So people and partnerships and yeah, just getting along, being with other people. Your heart needs to be have a bit of clearing in the chakra. So if you know somebody who does energy work, Reiki or something similar, there are many kinds of energy work. So any of them will be good. Plus, you can also just talk with Archangel Metatron and ask him to clear your heart center more, right? And be more specific about that. And and that will help you to fully understand again that it's safe for you to love and be loved. That even the times when it hurts, because sometimes love does hurt us, that's the nature of it. When we open ourselves to vulnerability, we show love and we receive love, that sometimes what happens in that relationship is hurtful to one or the other. And it wouldn't be if you had not opened yourself, right? So to actually experience the relationship, you have to be open enough to love. And even when the times that it hurts a little bit or more than a little bit, it's still safe. You are safe because this is what helps you grow. This is what helps you be a real person, right? Is your ability to love and to be loved. Okay, let's leave that there. So I'll ask you, Aries, to hang around for another minute here. Let's offer some of that love to the world in general. And so let's just beam it out. Oh, yeah, and compassion and healing. All those things we're offering to the world, to all the people, to the water, to the land, the earth. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Aries. I love you, and I'll talk to you again soon.